second graders, welcome to another writing lesson. Today, we are going to get to write some numbers, some numerals. So that's kind of fun. I like to write numbers. All right, so to make sure we are ready, let's see if we have a pencil, our writing packet, and we are looking at the bottom of page 4 today for our writing packet. And a writing surface, so some kind of a flat surface where we can do our best handwriting. We're going to pay attention to the lines on our paper, the spacing, so not too close, not too far apart. And we're going to protect our paper from elephants by putting one hand on our paper as we are doing our writing. All right. Our goal today is to carefully form letters and numbers and to write neatly and carefully. All right. So, paying attention to here's our margin line, here's our top line, our base line, and then on my paper I need to make some little dashes for our dotted line there. But the first number we're going to do today is the number 1. It sort of looks like a letter, doesn't it? What letter does it look like? Did you say a lowercase l, a lowercase o? You're right. So with this one, we are going to start comfortably close to the margin line. Starting just below the top line, I'm going to pull a straight line down to the baseline. Stop and lift my pencil and say number 1. All right. And if you're wondering, well, Miss Taylor, how do I tell if my number 1 is straight? Remember, we are comparing it to the margin line. So there's how we see if it's straight. All right, I'm going to put a little finger mark here. Here we go. Number 1. And number 1. Number 1. All right, number 1. So I'm going to stop there because we have quite a few numbers to kind of do today. So I might just do a few of each number. So the next number we have is the number 2. Did you guess? Thought you might have guessed. All right. So with the number 2, we are going to start at high 10 on the clock. Oh, I got a little notification. We're going to start at high 2 on the clock. Nope, high 10. Actually, high 10 on the clock. We're going to curve up to just below that top line. And then without lifting my pencil, we're going to make a slanted line down to the baseline right underneath where we started. So I'm going to lift my pencil just to show you for a sec. It's right underneath that place where we started. And if I stop here, it kind of looks like I'm going to make half of a heart. If I did another side here, it would be like a heart. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pull a slanted line down, and then I'm going to pull a straight line across the baseline. Stop and lift my pencil and say number 2. All right, so do a couple of these number 2s. A little space there. Oops. And here we go. Okay, number 2. So again, I'm going to go a little faster, but with yours, I would like you to try going a little bit slower and to try 10 of them. So your goal is to do 10. So today's writing assignment might take a little bit longer, but I think we can do it. All right, the next number we have is the number 3. So again, starting at high 10 on the clock, just like the number 2, we're going to curve up, down, and then we're going to pull a straight line kind of on that dotted line. And then without lifting our pencil, we're going to go back, down, curve up and around, and we're going to stop at regular 4. Stop and lift my pencil and say number 3. All right, so again, that was starting at high 10 on the clock, kind of curve up and down. And then when we get to the dotted line, let's see, that is 6, kind of like 6 o'clock. If you imagine a little clock up here, and we're going to stop at 6 o'clock. And then we're going to go back, curve around, and we're going to stop at regular 8. This is 8 o'clock. Miss Taylor needs to get her clock points right. That's 8 o'clock. We're going to stop there. All right, so we're going to curve, curve. There we go. And number 3. Whoops. That one looks a bit funny. Okay. I need some practice with my number 3s. I will keep practicing. Don't worry, scholars. All right, the next one we have is the number 4. And with the number 4, I can zoom in here a little bit. There we go. With the number 4, some nice straight lines. I know sometimes these 2s and 3s can be tricky because they've got kind of a curve and then a slant. But the number 4, nice and straight. Sometimes Miss Taylor likes nice and straight things. All right, so we're going to do just, I'm going to go to the next available baseline. So there's the next available baseline, comfortably close to the margin line, but not too close. And I'm going to start at just below the top line. I'm going to pull a straight line down to the dotted line. Without lifting my pencil, I'm going to pull a straight line for one space in the direction we read and write. I'm going to lift my pencil, and then starting just below the top line again, starting one space ahead, I'm going to pull a straight line down to the baseline and kind of intersecting or kind of touching that line that we already made. I'm going to pull that straight down to the baseline. So again, that was kind of like, it's sort of like we're making a capital L up there. And we're going to start at just below the top line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, stop and lift my pencil, say number 4. All right, so we'll make some number 4s. Very nice. Let's keep going. The next one we have is a number 5. So this one might be another one of those kind of little tricky ones because it has straight lines and then curvy lines. So let's get started with our number 5. So starting at just below the top line again, so kind of like we did, with the number 4, I'm going to pull a straight line down and we're going to go through the dotted line to regular 10. So I'm going to go kind of down a little bit below that dotted line. And then we're going to curve up to the dotted line. We're going to curve down to regular 10, to regular 4. We're going to touch the baseline. We're going to round up to regular 8. Stop and lift my pencil. And then starting at the top of the first line, we're going to pull a straight line across for one space in the direction we read and write and say number 5. So let me show you that again. We're going to pull it down a little bit past that dotted line. We're going to curve up. And we're going to stop that regular 8. And we're going to pull a little line across. So I'll show you a couple of those. Number 5. Oh, that one's kind of long at the top there. Alrighty, so there's our number 5. A few more letters to go. The next one we have is a number 6. Let's see what our number 6 looks like. So this one, we're going to start at high 2 on the clock. I'm going to curve up to just below the top line. And we're going to curve down and around to regular 10, down and around to regular 8. Touching the baseline, I'm going to round from regular 8 to regular 4, curve up to regular 2, touch the dotted line, touch regular 10, and curve down to regular 8. Stop and lift my pencil. Lift my pencil and say number 6. Ooh, that is a curvy number, isn't it? Wow, it's really curvy. So we're going to go up to just below the top line, curve down and around, making sure we're kind of trying to be nice and round here. Number 6. Number 6. So I'm kind of supposed to be, let's see, supposed to be stopping sort of at regular 10. So that one is a little bit better. So regular 10 would be about there. All right, so we'll practice. Miss Taylor will practice her number 6s. All right, you all are doing a fabulous job. Let's go to the next one. It's number 7. And for the number 7, let's see. Starting at just below the top line, we're going to pull a straight line just below the top line for one space in the direction we read and write. So that would be kind of like this in the direction we read and write. Without lifting my pencil, we're going to make a straight line down to the left. We're going to stop right underneath kind of where we started. So if you look at right under there where we started, we're going to stop and lift our pencil and say number 7. Number 7. Number 7. Number 7. All right. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a curvy number coming up next. It's the number 8. Little snowman number. All right. So this one is really curvy. We're going to start at high 2 on the clock. So next available baseline, Miss Taylor should say. We are going to start at high 2 on the clock. And we're going to round to high 10, down to high 8. And then when we get to high 8, we're going to round or curve around to regular 2. We're going to go to regular 4, touch the baseline. We're going to come up to regular 8. Now, if I stopped here, it would look like a capital letter S, right? Like my daughter, her name is Sophia, so I make this kind of letter when I'm writing her name. But when we're making the number 8, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to round up, and we're going to meet back here at high 2 o'clock. We're going to stop and lift our pencil and say number 8. So again, starting at that high 2 on the clock, curve up, curve down. If I stopped here, it would be a capital S, but I'm going to keep curving around number 8. Number 8. Number 8. Ooh, that took a lot of fortitude with all those curves. All right, we have 2 more numbers to go. You all are doing fabulous. Today was a little bit of a longer handwriting lesson because we have so many numbers, but this is really good practice, and especially as we get into our math workbook and doing careful numbers with our writing so that people can read what we're trying to say and we can communicate more easily. All right, so for the number 9, we are going to start at high 2 on the clock, curve up to just below the top line, touch 10, touch high 10, high 8, touch the dotted line. We're going to curve up. And then when we get to high 8, we're going to go back down to high 4, and we're going to pull a straight line down to the baseline and say number 9. All right, so it kind of looks like this. I'm going to pull a straight line down. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. All right, nice job. We have one more number to go. You would think, what's next? Number 10, right? But we already have our number 1s, but we're going to do the number 0. So let's see, I'm kind of running out of space here. Maybe what I'll do, I'm just going to do a couple zeros over here so you can see what that's going to look like. We are going to start with high 2 on the clock. We're going to curve up to just below the top line. We're going to curve down and around, touching the baseline. We're going to curve back up, stop and lift my pencil and say 0. All right, so our 0 is going to look a little bit like that. Oh, that one's a little bit misshapen. Maybe Miss Taylor needs to practice. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to try one more. Curve up and down. That one's better. All right, so I'm going to pause there. Your homework for today, your writing assignment, I should say, is the bottom of page 4. So here is page 4 on the bottom, and you are going to try to do 10 neat letters. And so what yours is going to look like is something like this. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. All right. And you're going to keep going just like that. And again, all of your points, in order to get 5 points on your handwriting, it's going to be all nice and neat. If most of your letters are nice and neat, it will be 4 points. And if only some of your letters are nice and neat, I mean numbers, these are numbers, aren't they? Oh, Miss Taylor, then you'll get 3 points. So let's all try to get 5 points, really nice and neat, slowly and carefully, using our temperance, using our prudence, persevering, one step at a time, and we can feel proud of ourselves for doing neat and careful work. All right, so have a fabulous rest of your day, scholars, and I will see you again soon. Bye.